he wasn't called Spider-Man. He was
The
called
Spider.
the Spider. Even in the title, it's
It's
Spider-Noir.
Spider-Noir.
I hope no one went to this thinking, oh, we're gonna see Miles Morales' head, or else we're gonna see we might see him slip into the infinite web. No, you weren't going to see that at all. This was like their take on this character.
Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. Antonio, we are the MC Collective with an MCU adjacent Amazon Prime, old school Spider-Man, Spider-Noir. All spoilers. Got to talk about the thing to talk about the thing. And if you're on the podcast side, you're missing out because Tony has a full black Spider-Man mask. I know he's hot as hell right now, but it's okay. We see how long he lasts with that. But yo, so you finished this yesterday. I finished this like Friday or so.
Okay.
What are
Yeah, I
your
can't do
and
this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he bailed so early.
Ah, there goes the moneymaker. There goes the moneymaker, right? Can't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's all good. What were your initial impressions?
Initial impressions were hmm. It started off slow, but it became fun for me. I thought it was pretty fun. Um, it became a thing. Like I said, it started off slow, with the whole, Spider-Man's, oh, tragic, saying, oh, I don't know, this and that, oh my God, having a horrible time, or whatever. But Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage, man. And
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage, he knows how to pull that off. And the thing is, for me, in a lot of Nicolas Cage's roles, he plays himself. It seems like he plays. No, yeah, no, you always gotta be snarky and have the talks like this and everything. But I enjoyed it for the most part. It was cool. It was fun. Like I said, it started off kind of slow. I was like, so truth be told, um, I tried to watch the first episode the day it came out or whatever. I said because I was thinking it was gonna be a weekly thing, and then when I turned it on, it looked and was like,
there's 8 episodes
oh.
in this whole. Yeah,
They dropped the whole thing. Bet. Okay, cool. So I said, well, let me go ahead and let me just watch the first episode. And I had a long work week last week. So I watched the first episode. I fell asleep in the middle of the first episode. I'm not even gonna hold you. I did. I was on my couch like, and then I woke up at yeah the first episode. I woke up at the end when they do like coming up this season when they
oh,
did
oh
that whole
dang,
like
dang, the end
I'm gonna
of
say
the episode.
yeah, and then I'm trying. I fell asleep probably from the first episode, probably at the point where oh, right after him and Sandman had their first fight. Him and or else Marco, as you want to refer to him, they had their first fight after he saying he went to go see Cat at the thing. I was like, okay, okay, and was out cold from that. So I didn't get so this entire weekend I straight up binged it starting Friday all the way till Sunday. And like I said, like I said, starts off slow, but it was fun.
Yeah, I think that's a really kind of good way to say it because when I first started this, I was like, let me just see what this is about.
Hmm.
And I was okay. So
Because I know you was skeptical when they
of-
first announced it. You was hella
I'm
skeptical.
skeptical of everything
Everything, right? But you was really skeptical
spider
about this.
adjacent that isn't MCU or Lord and Miller's Spider-Verse. Because you got to think about like this too. Over the past
Okay.
7 years, there have been so many Spider-Man projects made
A lot of them are
that are
bad.
adjacent and that are terrible. So even with Spider Noir, I'm like the character's cool, you know what I'm saying, the comics, whatever the people read. And I like Spider Noir from Spider-Verse,
Fireburst.
but he was clearly a side character. And I'm like, okay, and then there was like, yo, Nick Cage is gonna play Spider-Man in it too. I'm like,
60 year old,
Nick
60
Cage
plus
old
year
as
old Nick,
hell.
60 plus year old Nick Cage.
Nick Cage is like, Nick Cage is a very grown man. So I'm like,
Yeah,
how is that
I think
gonna work?
yeah, I think he's like mid 60s if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's
Mr.
fine.
Nicolas
It's go
Cage
ahead.
is very old. So I was really trying to figure out like how is this going to just how is this gonna
62.
yeah, like how is this gonna work?
Mm-hmm.
So he you're right. It definitely does start off slow, but I kind of expected that because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think okay, and this is what I learned this weekend. People didn't understand the noir and Spider Noir because noir is almost like it has duality in meaning. Of course, it means dark or whatever. It's a French
Mm-hmm.
word. But noir is also a genre. It's a
Mm-hmm.
genre, a film noir. Because it's harking back to our mass communication days
Mm-hmm.
in our film study. So we had to go over and talk about film noir and appreciate that as a genre of film. And
Mm-hmm.
the precepts of that are very simple. It's usually some sort of detective or cop. Is
Mm-hmm.
usually a damsel in distress. There is some sort of organized crime, a mafia, a gangster, and
Yeah. Yeah,
say,
see?
and there's usually some sort of like bumbling police or that that aspects of it.
And a
And
quirky sidekick.
there you go. So I kind of knew like all those things were gonna be in it. So the beginnings episodes, I knew they were gonna be slow because seeing how we come in where he's basically 5 years of from not being Spider-Man anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and his he couldn't save his girl.
His main squeeze there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Shay. And he's just basically in this depressed state ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking so essentially we're at the a hero needing something to be a hero for. And of
Right.
course, over here at the Upon Further Review slash MC Collective, we already know what the common denominator is for most of these situations when it comes to somebody needing motivation. And that motivation is vagina.
Vagina. I know.
So, shout out to Lee Jun Lee, our girl from Sinners who made the vampires come in and attack everybody. Um,
A
she,
lot of familiar cameo, no, not
oh
cameo appearances, a
yeah,
lot of faces in this
yeah,
that's really,
she was
really
in his joint.
before
Go
before we
ahead,
go any further,
go ahead.
I just want to do this. I want to say this for the people that act like they know what you just said noir means and everything. Here is your definition of noir. Just want to put that out there. Noir is the French word for black. In English, it is used most frequently as a noun or adjective in literature, film, and fashion to describe dark, pessimistic, and cynical style, particularly within the crime genre, as you just said, Rashad. But I just wanted to give a perfect,
No, hey man,
mm-hmm,
over here again at the Upon Further Review, we like definitions. So
mm-hmm,
we want things to be defined. Words matter.
yes,
Words
just like
really matter.
albums. It's like albums matter, but that's another thing. Go
Yes,
ahead. Rest in
yes,
peace, Prince.
yeah. So who's kind of noir himself? Anyway, the yeah, Lamar Morris is in here.
Mm-hmm.
We got who else is in this joint? It's a
Um,
bunch of random people.
Lucas Haas, who's been in like so much stuff as a child actor. I think probably the one thing, the two things for me that I remember him the most from was a movie that is ridiculously hilarious. Steve Martin, Leap of Faith. He plays the he plays the kid that's supposed that can only walk with crutches because he got in a car accident real bad and they perform a miracle so he can walk him. And also he was for our hip hop fans out there of the group known as The Outcast. He was in the music video for Roses, and he was the white boy that was dancing with Andre 3000 group. When they would do the battle, it's the love below. He was the white boy that was in that group dancing.
Damn, that's a
Deep
deep
cuts.
cut.
Deep cuts, baby. Yeah. So
Good God.
yeah,
Also, man, I did not, yeah, that's crazy that you really pulled that out your ass, man.
yeah.
What about to say?
The mayor from possibly me and Rashad's favorite show of all time, The Wire. He was Levinstein, the crooked lawyer for Avon and Marlowe. That was the mayor. Yeah,
I didn't even
yeah,
realize that.
yeah.
Dang. Who was
Yeah.
that?
The mayor, what was in The Wire? Remember the guy that was the
Oh,
lawyer, the crooked
hell,
lawyer.
oh, yeah, it
Yeah,
was him.
Levinstein, I think was
Yeah,
his
yeah,
name or something like
the
that.
dude, the guy, he used to get them boys off all the time.
Off,
Yeah.
yeah, off of straight legalities and
Yeah, he
everything
played
like that. Yeah.
the stereotypical Jewish lawyer. Yeah,
Yes.
that was him. Brendan
Mm-hmm.
Gleeson's in here, you know,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
the award-winning Brendan Gleeson.
Mm-hmm.
Also Amy Amy Aquino McCoy. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen her in so many things. I just don't know where I've seen her at. She was also in ER and some other
Mm-hmm.
crap too. So yeah, it's just a lot of like, a lot of working people in here
Yeah.
who played in a lot of good things. Just a lot of character actors who were in this. And yeah, man, like shout out to
Working
all of them.
actors.
A lot of
Yes.
working actors in this, man. Way to
Mm-hmm.
go, casting director on this one. But yeah, yo, so like I was real skeptical and I was very pleased by the end of this series because I think they do one thing really well, and that is handle I think they handle the spider stuff, like the Spider-Man stuff, really well for it to be on Amazon Prime.
Can we talk about that?
Go ahead.
So, so, um, apparently from my research on this isn't this isn't Spider-Noir from the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Nope.
This is a take on him. Even though it is Nicolas Cage playing him, it is a take on him. And this is a completely different Earth. They make references to make you think it's him, where it possibly could be him, but they're saying that is not him. Also, due to Sony owning Spider-Man, the Spider-Man properties, and dealing with Disney slash Marvel or whatever, it's certain terms and ways of use that they can use Spider-Man and they can't. They can lease out like Spider-Man property, but you have to, it's a slippery slope. For example, he wasn't called Spider-Man. He was
The
called
Spider.
the Spider. If you, it's even in the title, it's not Spider-Man Noir, it's
It's
Spider
Spider
Noir.
Noir. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like it's so don't go into this thinking. I hope no one went to this thinking, oh, we're gonna see Miles Morales' head, or else we're gonna see we might see him slip into the you know what I'm saying, into the infinite web. No, you weren't going to see that at all. This was just like their take on this character being able to use it through Sony properties, but it's like they can't use. I believe it's something to contract where the only two entities that can use the name Spider-Man and actually something Spider-Man like that is Sony, Marvel slash Disney.
Yeah,
That's it.
because even if you notice, like all the villains they had, none of them had
Uh-huh.
their regular villain names. Like
No,
there was
right.
no Electro, there's no Sandman,
Right.
there's no Tombstone, but all the regular names
Right.
we Lonnie Lincoln was used, and other
Yeah.
dudes' names, like
Mm-hmm.
those the names were used, but
Mm-hmm.
even though Lonnie Lincoln looked more like a reptile than a Tombstone,
Yeah,
but
then
that's
a
not here nor there.
tombstone.
And
Yeah,
I
and
understand.
then even like with Kat Harding, we all normally know that's Felicia Harding. What I'm saying that she's the black cat, but you see they just
Yeah, so
refer to her
couldn't use
as
her.
the
So
cat.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it was funny that I'm glad you mentioned that because before they were gonna have a bunch of like little series based on these little smaller characters. Like she was gonna have a show. It was gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of other shows. Shout out to oh my God, Gina Bythewood. She was gonna basically show run one of these joints.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's
Even
a lot.
Silvermane was changed. because
Yeah.
in this iteration of Superman, he's Irish. You hear the Irish accent and everything. Superman in the comics is an Italian. His name it ain't Finn. Finn or it's Silvio Manfredi. That's his
Yeah.
name in the like that's his real name in the comic as Superman. So yeah, but I do remember, like you said, they was thinking about doing extra little side stories that kind of connect to the big Spider-Verse universe, but not the Marvel slash Sony Spider-Verse universe or whatever.
Yeah, very, very interesting. It's just there was a lot of choices made for this for it to even be a
Hmm.
thing. And usually a lot of those things would be like distractions,
Yeah.
but they kind of weren't to me. Like I kind of like because the way that they unravel the story,
Hmm.
because it is based on film noir, the unraveling of the story always gets done like this. It's always told in bits and pieces. There's like a lot of murder mystery elements to it.
Hmm.
And we're having
It's
to
a puzzle.
see is definitely our one titular character having to
Hmm.
find out what's going on bit by bit. Him doing also our main character doing shady things to meet to for ends to meet like that's kind
Hmm.
of that's the genre. So so again, Nicolas Cage to me,
Hmm.
I don't like okay. uh he went full Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's why I said
And
he played himself,
and
yo.
I was like, I don't but I didn't mind it though.
No, you
Didn't
know why
like
you didn't mind it, Rashad? Let me tell you why you didn't mind it. Because of the time period. Nicolas Cage is like he's from that
he is
time
sort of
period.
like a
His
throwback actor.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's from that time period, and he time jumped up into present day whenever he came around. I was like, yeah,
You
I'm still
you
here, man.
you you Tony, man, that makes a lot of sense because
Yeah,
I also like how like in episode two. So episode two, I remember him distinctly using that like, that like early 1900s mid-Atlantic voice on
yeah,
purpose. I was like, because in the first episode he really didn't, but the second episode he did. I
yeah.
was like, I wonder what that's about. And then they explained it later on. I'm like, oh, thank you.
It was amazing how they explained, saying how they explained it.
Yeah, I said,
You
okay,
know what? Before you go any further, there was one question I wanted to ask before we started this.
cool.
I completely forgot it. And I think this is the most important question of this.
All right, tougher question of the day, but Tony.
How did you watch this?
Black and white only.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
Hey,
Just making sure. And I
yo,
know you, but just making
Tony,
sure.
Tony.
Hmm.
So was it Saturday? Saturday morning. Um, as I'm driving before I was driving back home, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I stopped to get some gas to eat, and I just quickly posted. I was like, some of y'all don't understand the noir and Spider-Noir. Black and white picture, sin. It's on Threads. That
Hmm.
post probably got like 90,000 views.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Niggas
I
was
mean,
mad in the comments. Like so
so go ahead,
mad.
man. Yeah.
And here's the thing too, like a lot of them didn't understand or realize that this show was fully shot for black and white initially.
Yeah.
And then they went back and made it color because they got cold feet. They said, I know
Yeah.
people will go and want to watch this in color because they don't like black and white. And somebody in the comments was like, yo, they should have did this like Werewolf by Night. They did it black and white and that was it. You
And
didn't have no
then
options. And then a
right,
year
yeah.
later, they ran it
They
back in
dropped it in.
color,
Yeah.
just for for shits and gigs. But like, I was like, yeah, like, and not only does the black and white make it better, but it was also shot for that. People bringing up like recent A film like L.A. Confidential and like Sin City and whatever. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I know those are like nouveau film noir, but like this is shot basically during the middle of the damn Great Recession. You know what I'm saying?
Prohibition.
At Prohibition, after World War One, these is all like World War One veterans that were experimented on. So it lends to the time. Like even before I let you go, but even
Mhm.
the sets themselves. look
Hmm.
like old backlot fake sets. So it
And
lends to that.
I loved it. I
That
loved
again,
it.
that's the whole
I loved it.
it's a period piece. So they wanted to
I
make this
loved
as
it. Yeah.
true to the time that it
Hmm.
would have been shot in as possible. And they did a good job for that to me.
So to really appreciate this, you have to see it in black and white, especially with how things were shaded, shadow effects, because that's the whole noir, that 1930s timepiece like that. I am even though 1930s wasn't a great time for people like me and Rashad or
Absolutely not.
whatever, I love like the architecture and the look of how things looked, and like even the dress. I love that, everybody woke up and they was dressed to the nines. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
was
It's like
suited and booted just to go to
suited
the
and
grocery store.
boo, suited and booted. But I just love how it looked in black and white, and I think it enhanced even more with the spider, especially in those scenes when he's creeping around and he got to turn his lights on, his headlights on, his glasses or whatever, and he looks when he does that, he looks exactly how the character looked in Spider-Verse or whatnot. Now,
Yeah.
I have not watched it in color, but I have seen snippets and parts of it in color. And when I looked at it, I might later on go back and watch it in color because you want to know what feelings I got from that, Rashad, watching it in color, what it reminded me of, and
What's
I
that?
think you're gonna know exactly what movie I'm talking about once you see it. Dick Tracy.
Yeah, because here's the thing, because it reminds me of how they used to put things in Technicolor
Yeah.
after the
Remember, that's how what
fact.
they did. That's what they did with even though Dick Tracy was shot in color, but it was Technicolor, and it had like certain colors popped and more vibrant
Like
and like kind of
yellows and
the
reds were all
yellows and reds
extra.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I mean, it took me back to that and was like, damn, I need to find Dick Tracy streaming somewhere just so I can go back and watch it. Because I remember going to see that movie as a
Yeah.
kid at Commodore Theater, by the way. And it's one of my favorite movie theater. And I was just like, when I saw the color, I was like, oh, I need to go back and watch this because I had no idea your boy Robbie was wearing these burnt orange, vibrant orange suits the entire time. You never knew this until you watch
Yeah.
it in color. And even with the spider, his jacket, I thought it was like a black leather trench coat or just a black. This thing was like a dark chocolate brown, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, because
almost or
because how
whatever.
they shot it in
Hmm.
a lot of greens, a lot of pinks, a lot of browns, because all those colors are favorable when it
Hmm.
comes to black and white.
Hmm.
So again, and then they had to go back after it was done and
Hmm.
do reshoots
Yeah.
just for the color stuff. So,
Yeah.
like so to me, like I would rather and like even I was able to find somebody who worked on the show and I had a screenshot then
Hmm.
up and I pinned it to the thread. He was like, "Yeah, this show was intended to be in black and white." And I was like, "Boom, thank you."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I watched
I
him.
just want that.
I enjoyed it in the black and white too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask that and get that,
oh, you
just get
get
that
that
out
out.
the
Yeah,
way.
get that elephant out in the
Yeah.
room. Absolutely. So yeah, going back to the actual show, uh,
Hmm.
I story wise, this was
Hmm.
a really good self-contained story. It's just Spider-Man down on his
Hmm.
luck. He finds somebody who can help. He feels like he needs to save, which is Lee Jun Lee. What's her name?
Cat,
Was Cat?
cat
And
Hardy. Hmm.
he's like, Cat, I need I need to say that, Cat.
Need a cat. I need to see that. I need
I
to see.
need to say that, cat.
My,
Why must
my
I
man,
feel
you
like
know,
that? Why must I chase
it's
the
actually,
cat?
my man was loco from South Central. You gonna let loco see the kitty cat? Deep cuts, baby. Here we go.
Wow.
You gonna let
Yeah.
loco see the
I
kitty
might
cat?
need to
I'm
add
sorry.
that to I might need to add that to the list, South Central. You know what I'm saying? You OG Bobby
Yeah.
Johnson? Yeah, I'm OG.
Yeah, but you.
It's a fat ride, right? All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deuce, right.
Deuce.
Anyway, Cat. Okay, so I think I
Femme
like Cat as a
fatale.
character.
But she's a typical femme fatale.
She was the yes.
In these type of movies like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was low down and dirty. She led. She led that man Ben Riley on. Also, yes, Ben Riley, not Peter Parker. Led Ben on,
Yeah.
was about to skip town. She almost skipped town like 5 times. Like she was trying to get the hell out of New York the whole
She was trying to get the
series.
she was trying to get the hell out of New York and everything. And yeah, man, she did not want no parts of it. Real quick, like Rashad said, his name is Ben Riley in this. His real name, that's the name that he gave himself when he came back from war. He actually possibly could be Peter Parker. Remember the guy said,
Oh yeah,
I couldn't find
absolutely.
you by your real name, so whatever like that.
Yeah,
But
they,
back
they
to
they they left a lot of ambiguity for
yeah,
that if they, when they can.
back to Cat. She was a trifling example, yo. She played because you know what she was? Rashad, we both young men. Well, not that much younger, but we used to be young men. And we've seen movies and we've even seen it in real life where there are women who are bad. And I mean bad as in they look good, fine. And the worst thing is they know they fine. And they use their wiles to get whatever they want. And a lot of times that's without even having to give up the vagina or anything. They just use their womanly, feminine wiles because they are fine. They have been told they fine their whole life. And they know they fine. And she basically used all of that to get the man she really wanted fixed up and to leave. And then at the end of this show, had the unmitigated gall to have an attitude with Ben after he gave up because he wanted to just get rid of his spider powers or whatever. Like, hey, I don't want to live with this. No, I don't want that response. But he said, I don't want the responsibility. With great power, I don't want the responsibility. He says, hey, I got one valve left. Y'all know what to do with it. He walks away. And she has the nerve at the funeral for Silvermane to cop an attitude because he feel a certain type of way, which he does. And he has a right to feel the way he feel. This is why sometimes I say, yo, people, no one cares about men in the world, yo, for real. A lot of people, a lot
Wow.
of people don't care about men,
we
yo.
about
Like,
to we about to turn this to a manosphere
I'm sorry.
podcast.
I'm not. But it's just like, no, it's like she gaslit that man his feelings, yo, for real. He was just like, yeah, uh-huh.
Yo,
I just want to get this off my,
But
uh-huh,
Tony, like the crazy part is that
uh-huh,
we don't. Okay, yo, she was involved with essentially like it's like this love rectangle because
okay.
you had
It was the original guy that was the doctor that
yeah,
got killed. Uh-huh.
yeah. Then you
And
also
then
had
there's Marco,
yeah. Then you had
and then there's
Silverman.
right, Silver. Their relationship confused me. I'm like,
It didn't confuse me. It was a relationship of convenience. Matter of fact, it was a relationship of like of power because
yeah,
Silverman is like, this old man, this old gangster. Like
mm-hmm,
I got I got a team of girls and I got everybody where I want them to be because
yeah,
we can speculate that like, he was definitely using her in
yeah,
more ways than one. That's why she
yeah,
couldn't leave. And then two, she ends up falling in love with essentially like, random this other dude. Matter of fact, no, I'm sorry. She was already in love
with uh-huh,
with Marco. But
mm-hmm,
he was poor.
yeah, yeah,
He was poor. He was a vet. You know what I'm saying? And like they wasn't treating vets correctly after the war. Because remember, so we saw the soup line. Shout out to the black people on Harlem feeding the vets. You know what I'm saying? Black people
yeah,
looking out again.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So she was like, I'm in love with you, but you can't provide for me. So I'm gonna let Silvermane take care of me.
Ding. I just had another thought. You know what? Before Ben, what the Silvermane, Cat, and Marco love triangle was? Down low, gotta keep. It was the
Oh
R.
my
Kelly, Mr. Biggs.
God. It
It was the
was.
download video. It was the download video, yo.
It was.
It was, you know. Listen, anybody that got upset because
Oh
I
God,
sang the
that's
R. Kelly
so
song, but I had to do it. But
good,
this
yo.
was the
That's
R.
so
Kelly
good.
download video. No,
Nah,
you
that's
gotta keep it on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh.
yeah, yeah. End up being contagious. So that's that's
Yeah.
that's that's very funny, man, because
Hmm.
like how about I say Mr. Biggs? Because Mr. Big is Silverman. He's like so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so Silverman
So,
like
hmm.
is running New York.
Yes, he
He's
is.
he's the person who is running the police.
Hmm.
He's running the mayor. And for all intents and purposes, people are getting tired of him running everything.
And
And
he had the lock on prohibition. Like he was
oh
the one
yeah, like
making.
yeah, yeah. He
He
was
was
like,
making all the
nah,
money.
bro, I don't want alcohol to be legalized. I'm making the
Yeah.
alcohol.
Hmm.
So that whole storyline to me was like very like, again, it's very, very film noir, guys. You got your
Hmm.
gangster who's running everything.
Uh-huh.
And his downfall was vagina because at the end of by the end of the series, Cat
That
kills
was his
him.
downfall. Yeah.
He would do hold a little like like again another very another very film noir aspects.
You got
He ran through the little like the the circus thing with all the mirrors and stuff. I said, yo,
Mhm.
yeah.
I told him that cat was gonna kill him. Told him that cat was gonna kill him. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, she was a piece of work in this. But let's talk about I'm gonna tell you who my favorite character was. Believe it or not, was Janet.
Janet?
Janet was one of my favorite characters in this because she was a real one. Janet was like,
Yeah.
when am I gonna get paid, Ben? Ben, I love you. I do love you to death, and not love him as in relationship type because I think Janet was married, won't she? If I'm not mistaken,
Absolutely.
she had a
Yeah.
Janet was married. Janet was just like, I love you, and I love you as my brother. I need my money, nigga. And so she was like, I need my money, and you ain't paid. But every time she was about to walk out that door, Ben would find a way to kind of be like, no, come on, Janet, no, it's gonna be all right. Yeah, I'm gonna get the money. What I'm saying? And she found a way to stay. On top of that, she don't know if she has her kids of her own, but she had motherly duties to my man, the little newsboy, like the little shoe shine boy or whatever,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
was
which is which is
hilarious.
which is another archetype, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Because
the little
back then, the child labor laws was kind of loose, so you had little kids
yeah.
working all types of jobs.
This is why I say it reminded me of Dick Tracy. Cause remember, Dick Tracy had the little kid that was his name was the kid or the thing or whatever. But yeah, so I really and she was I think the heart and soul for Ben and for also Robbie because she knew people. They manipulated in their own way. Robbie manipulated through media, like, nah, I work for the Bugle. You don't work for the Bugle no more. And then with, what I'm saying, Ben using his as a detective, his multiple aliases. With her, she connected with the people that was her informers and the people she needed to connect with by just being a human being. By number one, going to the police station,
Being nice.
the being nice, the booking cop that said that's there. She came and hey, what's going on? She put that bag of burgers up there. He already knew she wanted. So he was like, man, my wife. She was like, oh, I just saw these outside. This and that. They like, oh yeah. He said, man, my wife don't want me to eat these. I'm not your wife. And she said, you sure ain't. What you need, girl? Hold on, I'll be right back. And then even with Lonnie, when Lonnie agreed to interview with Robbie, and I was like, all right. And then when Robbie started talking to him and asking him questions, Lonnie was like, I was like, Lonnie, come on, man. You agreed to do this. What's up? And she looked at him. She looked at Robbie and said, mm-mm. Just grabbed a deck of cards, started shuffling. And she didn't say a word. She didn't say, hey, let's play. She just, she started shuffling and then dealt it to, Lonnie, Robbie, and her. And then you saw Lonnie look and he's like, and they started playing and she was able to have just a conversation with them through that. So that's why I appreciated her so much. And at times it felt like she felt underappreciated by Ben, but at the end of the series or season, whatever this is, she finally did get her just due because her name is now added to the business as Riley and Reed's detective agency or whatever. So yeah, that's why I really appreciate her.
Yeah, I really like Robbie. You know, like
I did too. Yeah.
I love Lamar Morris just as a person.
Yeah.
Like dude is mad funny.
Uh-huh.
Be funny on podcasts. And his character to me was was very like just indicative like of a time. Um and him trying to break back into something that he was already doing. You know, like look, like I'm because basically he was the Peter Parker to Spider-Man because he instead of like Ben doing all the shooting and stuff, like he was shooting for him, which I found
Mm-hmm.
like okay, that's cool. How they kind of did a play on that instead of
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to have time photography in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they were a team, and then when he quit, he was like, "Yo, I fell on hard times because you quit me, Spider-Man."
Yeah, because he was the Spider-Man beat reporter or whatever.
Yeah,
He was the Spider-Man beat, and then when he retired, no more Spider-Man. We don't want to hear no other stories. We want Spider-Man.
he said,
So because it
"Nigga,
was
get
like,
out of
man, you
here."
have a knack. You've always had a knack to always show up where he's gonna be at. Yeah, it's just luck or whatever. So one thing I want to say too about this, we started first doing the show and you start seeing stuff. I was like, you know what? This is great. A 1930s where it seems like folk are cool with black people. It gave me that at first. Then by I think episode 2 or 3, where he tried to go into the hotel and it said whites only, I said, never mind. I retract that state. I retract that. I redact
Said,
that statement.
"Nigga, go around the back."
Go around the back. Because you think about that first episode, it made you feel because you saw like like even though it's new, I know it's New York and it was probably a little bit more prevalent, but still the rate, you know what I'm saying, you
Yeah,
didn't
it was
feel
still
like it was any
racism,
racial.
and then also like
Yeah,
they was like it's like Midtown downtown. It looks like to me.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
wasn't
but
like
it
we
didn't.
was in like
Yeah,
Harlem or like in the Bronx. No,
yeah.
it
But
was it was
but you
racism.
saw him going in the calf and they was eating together. The calf, you know what I'm saying? But it just made me feel like, oh man, they made a 1930s where kind of like Fantastic Four First Steps, where it was
Yeah,
the
they
60s. I was like, we love black people in this
it
thing,
was funny, right? I
uh,
saw on IG, Fantastic Frankie was like, "Why is there racism in Spider-Noir?"
right,
I'm like,
exactly.
and not to have
Yeah,
to think about it, I was like, man, like it's not really necessary, but they put it in there. You know what I'm saying?
right. But they put it in there, and then too, when he did get his job back and he got his desk back, you see the whole newsroom turn around, and they like, look at this nigga, right? They was giving him the look like they were Steven from Django. Who's this nigga on this nag? Right? They're like, what is this? And you saw where I liked his story as well, Robbie, because you saw his the inner struggle he had to deal with because he had this great job with the Daily Bugle, the biggest newspaper in New York for this or whatever. And we know that they go to Daily Bugle in the Spider-Man universe or whatever. And like he said, he fell on hard times when Ben retired because Ruby died or whatnot. And he's been like the last 5 years trying to get that old thing back or whatever. And when Ben started doing stuff and he was able to get pictures of the of Lonnie and you know what I'm saying Marco when they you know what I'm saying went on the rampage destroying the cops that
Yeah,
came into their little neighborhood stuff. He went to them and said, hey, and what he said, and what the chief said, you still got that good eye, man. All right, cool. We'll do this for you, whatever, cool. And what did they do? They took his story and completely flipped it, changed everything around, all that stuff. And he was
and put
like,
his name on it,
and then
like
put
he
his
wrote it.
name on it, like he wrote it. And he was so upset about that. And I love the scene when he starts in downtown New York and he's on like the subway train or whatever. Well, I don't know if they hit the subway back then, but the
Yeah,
train,
they
and
did.
you see they did okay, cool.
Yeah,
And you see he's the only black guy up there. And then he gets like the midtown or whatever, and he's like, okay, it's like two black, and they're all looking at the paper. And by the time he gets down to where Harlem is, It's all black folk up there,
Yeah, pretty much. As
and
soon
then
as he got like around like 96,
yeah. I don't know.
111
I ain't
on
never been
it.
to New York.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
You're
just
my New
saying.
York
Yeah,
liaison.
yeah. He went further. So he got further uptown. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Them
Yeah, so I
black folks got
love
off the train.
right, and I then when he was in Harlem walking around, like I said, he was amongst other black people. It's like he saw a need that needed to be filled, and you know what I'm saying like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
really appreciate that character that way.
because by the end of it, he ends up running his own newspaper.
Uh,
So
Harlem Herald.
yeah, I was about to say the Harlem Gazette. But yeah, man, it's yeah, like I love that. Like, Kaz was real cool. He was funny. And
Hmm.
he was the voice of reason for Ben the entire time. And he also was he was willing to risk it for the story too, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he portrayed his Nicolas Cage impression
That
as
was
the
so
Spider
funny.
was fucking hilarious.
It
I
was
just want to
so
say that
funny, man.
because he's like, yeah, man, see, and then you see Janice like, why are you talking like that? Uh, that's the way Ben talks or whatever. But then when you put the mask on and he's there, you know who I am or whatever. I said, yo, I was like, this. I said, I know it's him under there, but it made you think it was Nicolas Cage because he had the mannerism down and everything. It was, I'll beat your ass again. I mean, he was funny as hell, man. So yeah,
It was a good impersonation, y'all.
yeah.
That between that and oh, okay, so speaking of Nick Cage, there's some scenes in this where like he is really acting like a spider.
The
And
ticks.
it's hilarious. He's ticking, like he gets like he got like yo. He's talking about someone getting their ass beat the entire time. Oh my God, yo, Ben Riley was getting beat down each episode, yo. Like he was definitely on his on his Danny Glover. I'm too old for this shit because
Yeah, and that's the only excuse I give him for getting his ass whipped. Number one, he's 5 years rusty, and then number two, he old as hell now. Like I don't think they made him 60 in this. I think they made him like late 40s.
nah, that
You
man
know what I'm
60 in
saying?
my mind. He was a 62-year-old Spider-Man. Like, and also the fact that like I like that in this universe, like he's not like he's powerful,
uh,
but he's like aged appropriately. Because
yeah,
like even like the last episode when he grabs the two cars and smashes them
yeah.
into Marco and he turns into sand. I'm
Uh,
like, oh damn, you just killed that man. Yeah, so even like that, like okay, like he still got some strength in him, but he gotta muster up a lot of it.
yeah.
Like
So yeah.
when they was tag teaming him,
Mhm.
they was beating his ass. Especially what's the dude name with the fake electro? What was his name?
What was it Limerick? I don't know
Yeah,
whatever
whatever
that
that dude's name was.
dude was
I hated
trash.
him. Oh
Yeah.
my God, yo, they made him such an unlikable person. He was
Yes.
talking the whole time. He was Silverman was like, yo, you talk too much, bro. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. I was like, yo, nigga, shut up, man. But yeah, they was when they was tag teaming him, and then Ben was so stupid. He gonna know that this man has electricity powers. And still gonna shoot his web at him.
Dirk Layden was his
Yeah,
name.
Dirk was a dick.
Hmm.
So he still was trying to web sling this man and would just electrocute him every time. I'm like, bro, you gotta do
Yeah.
something different. You gotta do something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It reminded
Got
me of when Iron Man and Whiplash was fighting. And he would no, he's bringing it in like
yeah, yeah,
shout out
yeah.
Iron Man too.
So also too, um the sound effects when Ben Riley was fighting had me cracking up. I said, Did this dude is this dude channeling Scorpion from Mortal? Because there was a couple of times, get over here. He said,
I did hear that. I was like, did he say get over here?
yeah, come on, get over here.
Like y'all
What-
stupid.
Whatever. And he was saying like other little smart that like I was like, this is supposed to be Scorpion or whatever. What are they doing here with that?
Yeah,
So yeah,
but it was funny because he was still quippy, but it just was like, like old timey.
Yeah, right. And back to what you said about him doing the ticks of spiders, and I love how it was fully explained in this when he got bit by the man
Oh
spiders.
my,
Like
oh Tony,
that was
oh,
just I like ah, I was like,
oh,
eh.
oh, that
I was
was,
like,
oh my
oh,
God. I
I'd have
was
been
like,
like,
what the
cut my arm
hell?
off. Oh, cut my arm off.
He was like, "Ah." I was like,
So,
oh
so
no.
but he was like, "You all right, fella? You all right?" I'm like, "Oh, snap!" But he sat there and he said, like, it took him. Remember, he said it took him a while to remember how to be a human because
Yeah,
the spider stuff took over. He said he was going to the movies just to remember. So that's why it was that scene when he went to the movies to look at Cagney playing, and he was memorizing, and he was doing it word for word or whatever, enjoying his glizzy because Ben Riley had a thing for hot dogs, glizzy. He says, I'd rather have a what he say? I'd rather have a hot dog at Yankee Stadium than what he said than than roast beef at a Ritz.
yeah. I'm like, all right, y'all. All right.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I
man.
enjoyed
But
me a hot
like,
dog. It was wild, but that was wild.
let's talk about the how they're all connected. So all the like the power people are connected via World War I experimentations by the Germans, and they were all very, very comic book accurate, like animal based. Because you already know like most of Spider-Man's villains are like animal based. And or like like nature based. So
Yeah,
so we saw everybody's getting experimented on. We also see the doctor for the VA who was trying to help all the other people out.
Dr.
Like
Faber.
yeah, Dr. Favor was doing no favors for them. And her son was also one of the people on the squad. He had the unfortunate power to age faster.
Yeah. My man got the rawest deal. He got the rawest of deals. He was 36 years old, made him like he was like 80 something years, 70, 80 something years old. He gets healed and he goes back and he's only healed for 10 minutes before he get murked. I
Yo,
said, oh dang,
they
man.
killed him and his mama. Yo, I said,
And his
dang,
mama.
man. Yeah,
He
yeah,
doesn't
yeah. That was
they ain't do
crazy, man. But like,
they ain't do that man no favors. Also,
nah.
what's up? What's up with the Germans and all this experiment and trying to make super
I'm
like
just I'm just saying it's
like
it's a recurring theme
it's
in
a
media,
but in media, but also
in real life.
there is
Like
a belief it happened in real life because Hitler,
he was
oh, we
crazy,
can't say
man.
his
They
name.
was
The crazy man with the mustache of a certain political party in Germany had a had a division on the occult. You know what I'm saying? To study the occult and everything. And there were rumors that he had certain occultish type trinkets and some Christian type trinkets, spirit destiny type stuff and everything like that. That we don't know how true that is or whatever, he did have an occult section of the political party that only liked a certain type of people with the man that led it with the crazy mustache. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. So when it comes to that, it's like it's I think we like to explore that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Just as a I'm gonna be honest, like just as a trope now. It's like
Yeah.
it's almost expected. Like, yeah, it's gonna be some weird experimentations going on. I think it just was a really grounded way to explain how all of those people got powers.
Mm-hmm.
Even the fact that they were all there together. One thing I didn't like is that them niggas didn't remember that they were there together, or
Right.
it took Dirk. It was Dirk, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It took him the whole season to realize, oh, yo, I do remember you.
Yeah.
You was there. What
Marco
up?
and Marco and Light, they knew. They remember each other.
Yeah.
But you know what that goes to show me? Dirk was probably a jerk the entire time, with or without powers.
Yeah. And you could, I mean, because even though Ben's character, like he was just kind of like he wasn't a part of the actual their like
Experimentation.
or division or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he was still was there. He helped save like all them people that was locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like it's just very like I did like that because I was like, I wonder how they're gonna explain like how how these people randomly got powers.
Right. And yeah, and they, like I said, they did a good job putting everything, putting everything in order. Even like you said, with that whole scene where you see the flashback, where you see that Ben was this was this hero type person that came along, that came along and saved them or whatever. But overall,
Yeah.
I think this was a solid showing though, Rashad.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that back up about Ben because that was basically his arc this whole season was trying to was realizing that he really was a hero even though he couldn't be there to save his girl like he was
Yeah,
so close because we see her as drowned like 8 times. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like we get it. She drowned in the car.
But you know
And
what that really but what that shows you is that the thing is that's what he sees in his mind, that he was there, he was just right there. But the thing is he wasn't. He
that's,
he told you.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
was getting slizzard across town with the boys. I was getting hammered hard, and her ex-husband found out, who was locked up, got out, found out she was about to get remarried, and he was on this whole, well, if I can't have you, nobody will, and handcuffed her to a stern wheel and drove that jank off to the probably the Hudson River, and
Yeah.
he probably didn't find that out until the next morning, waking up from a drunken stupor. And we seen that man
He be
can
drunk.
get drunk. He can get drunk. So
He be
yeah,
drunk. And if also the funniest gag of the whole thing was like it's him like it's like his assistant knowing that he was Spider-Man the whole time because
yeah,
he would get
hilarious.
drunk and just be in the office doing random shit in
Yeah,
the outfit.
in the outfit.
So funny. I see,
I
yeah,
loved it because the three times they showed it, no, it was three. Was it three times they showed it? It got ridiculous each time. Like the first time, he just had the goggles and the hat on, and he was like, "I'm Spider Man," and you could just look at him as, okay, he's drunk. He's just dressed up as this guy. Then the second time, you see him, he has the full outfit on except for the mask and the goggles. He's perched up on the, hey, I'm Spider Man. But then is when she sees him hanging from the ceiling. She's
upside
like,
down.
and I love that she didn't even say nothing. He said it. She just flipped the light switch back off and just backed one out, yo, for real. That's why I told you I love Janet, yo. Janet is hilarious, man.
No, no, she was definitely the realest one on the show. Nah,
uh,
yeah, man.
uh,
It was this was a pretty strong showing. Very, I mean, like again, like you said initially, I was not really excited for this, but by the
yeah,
end of it, man, like it was, I was happily surprised. So
yeah.
all right, time to grade this hoe.
All right.
What you got?
I got a B.
Me too, bro. Like,
A B.
like
A B. I mean,
it's the strongest of bees ever,
yeah,
man.
it's a
Like,
very strong. It's a strong B, very strong B. Like were there were a couple of things that could have been done better with it, whatever. But overall, it was good. It was solid. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, people, please, if you haven't watched it in black and white, please watch it in black and white. It is. It will enhance it even more. And I'm not saying that being like try to, well, I'm a purist and I'm not
yeah,
going to
yeah,
watch it
yeah.
color.
Because this
I'm
is
going to eventually probably go back when I ain't got
yeah.
nothing to do and go back and watch it in color. But watch it in black and white, you're gonna see certain things and you're gonna be like, and you're gonna get a better appreciation for it.
Because that's kind of the narrative online now. Because if you say you should watch some black, people think like, "Oh my God, you so so
Mm-hmm.
hooty snooty."
Yeah.
I like it's not even that. It's just the show was shot for black and white,
Yeah.
so that's how you should watch it. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, what have you been watching?
Okay, my heart is so filled right now, Rashad. That's what I'm say. I'm like, yo. Before I got on to do this episode, I just saw the series finale of Euphoria.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
man, I was just like, oh boy, I was like, it got me. I ain't cry, but I was like, oh, it's just my heart dropped
yeah,
watching that show. So this a show that is now, they said this isn't like, no, oh, it's gonna be this is it for it or whatever. And I think it was a great way to end it. Some things I like, some things I was like, oh, they survived or whatever. But they did leave some things ambiguously open. But I think that seems to be like the thing now to do or whatever. But I watched that. Um, I'm going to start watching next because my coworker has been riding my ass to watch the Nemesis
Oh yeah.
on Netflix. She's been riding my ass. Please watch Nemesis. If you don't like it, watch Nemesis. I said, okay, I will. I told her that most likely I'm going to try to start watching Nemesis. I want because what I haven't watched yet, or what I'm thinking about watching, I need to knock that out right now between today, June 1st, and June 21st, because my undivided attention is going to be House of the Dragon. But on top of that, you know, I don't know when the next time you're gonna see us. We have two movies I think we both talked about possibly seeing coming out this weekend, and
Yeah.
Scary Movie, and me and Rashad taking it back to the '80s with I have the Masters of the Universe,
I'm trying to see that.
and I think and here's the thing, I don't think y'all understand the tempered excitement that me and Rashad has for Masters of the Universe because we are
Hmm.
children of the '80s, and He Man was a big part of that.
Yeah.
And when they gave us a
A lot
Masters of
of
the Universe
a lot of
movie,
power, Grayskull.
by the
You know what I'm
power of
saying?
great, when they gave us the Masters of the Universe movie back in what, '89 or something, '88, '89, it was a big deal. People couldn't wait. You get to the movie theaters and you're like, even as a kid, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? It was poss- possibly one of the worst movies that you. Skeletor looks nothing like the Skeletor that we've seen. He Man don't look nothing like you know, it was just it. I hate when people do this, especially when it comes to when you have source material. If you want to turn a cartoon into a live action movie, you have the source right there. You see what I'm saying, Rashawn? You
Hmm.
have the source, and you're like, okay, I know what the source is, but I kind of want to put a little spin on it or whatever. I would have put a little lamb ya on it or whatever. And there is a such thing as over seasoning your gumbo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or just putting
yeah,
too much stuff in your and they did that with that movie. Another movie from my childhood that they did that to. Not a movie, but yeah, a movie, but it was a TV show. G.I. Joe. When they made live action G.I. Joe, I said, what the hell is this? I
yeah.
did not like it
It,
so much. I didn't even see the sequel.
yeah, it's one of those situations where like I it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
definitely try to see we definitely want to try to review Master Universe next Monday.
And Scary
That's
Movie. I get it. We gotta see Scary Movie because I
yeah,
the
I
offense
don't
is gonna be,
yeah.
but I don't. We
I
that could
doubt I
probably
watched
wait a
Scary
little bit.
Movie. I don't like that series at
You
all.
know.
Not a fan.
And listen,
Yeah,
I'm
I know a lot of people like
offended.
really love that genre. I just never was. It's like
Uh-huh.
after a while, like such the comedies get real annoying to me. But yeah, it's some
Okay.
funny stuff.
Yeah.
It's some real funny scenes. But after a while, it's like, all right, y'all, come jokes.
You don't like my
Um,
strong. You don't like my strong hand,
no, I
Rashawn.
don't. No, I don't like your strong hand.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Stupid. Nah, but I just finished watching Devil May Cry season 2. It's anime. That
Okay.
was really good. Actually, a lot better than season 1. So they definitely
What's that?
stepped up.
Isn't that based off a video game? If I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Interesting concept for a show.
Okay.
If I guess my video game, yeah. But saw that and I'm on episode 6 of Man on Fire.
I have not watched that yet. I just want to ask you, Rashad, is it worth it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because my bar is set high for the Denzel
Of course, of course.
version of that
It's
Denzel. Shout
a
out to Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
Anthony, what's his name? What's J Lo's ex husband? That was Mark Anthony, and then daggone Dakota Fanning. Like
yeah, yeah.
Creasy Bear, my man Denzel was not effing. I'm gonna kill them all. Anybody that looks at me stupid, profited with how many episodes is that?
7.
7 hour long,
Not even
45
that.
minutes.
45, 50 minutes tops.
Okay. I might add that to the.
Yeah,
I might
yeah,
have to
yeah.
list something.
I like it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Of course,
And then and then my boy
movies.
Yaya's in it. So
That's the only reason why I'm watching it.
yeah,
I just love him as as an actor, just in
yeah.
general. Like I
Hmm.
remember when he was on, he played Cadillac on the Lowdown. Remember
Okay.
that? Remember Lowdown?
Oh yeah,
His
yeah.
first the hip hop show.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the dude that was also in one of the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
light skinned dude. Yeah, man. But that's really it for now. Definitely gonna try to watch Masters of the Universe. Um, Coming up, of course, we have House of Dragon season 3.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
Spider-Man,
God.
Supergirl,
Um, Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day.
Like June
In
12th.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Disclosure Day. I'm excited for
Yeah.
Disclosure Day.
Yeah,
Disclosure
our
Day.
entertainment reporter did an interview with Steven Spielberg, and I was so I got upset because they're supposed to be talking about I guess it was a long interview and they cut it up, and I'm expecting him to talk about the movie. He started talking to him about Jaws, about something with Jaws and stuff and everything. I was like, what are you doing, my dude? Come on, I want to hear about this Disclosure Day, even though Jaws is a classic or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, they're probably gonna they're gonna slow roll that interview over the next week and a
mm-hmm,
half. Nah,
yeah.
man, like yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, it's
So heads up, Rashad. I gotta go back and see. I gotta go back and see that interview or see something because the guy made it seem like that this movie is going it's not a sequel to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but it's kind of it has a tie to it somehow.
interesting.
So yeah, doom 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 doom
All right,
doom
Hal.
doom doom.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see.
we'll see.
But like it's
Mm-hmm.
you can't never count a good Spielberg out, yo. He always come up with some stuff.
Oh yeah, never.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
really that's on the horizon for right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's all I got for this one. Ain't got anything else?
No, man. I mean, today's June 1st. Like I said, we got the stuff that's coming up. We gonna do Masters of the Universe, Disclosure Day, daggone House of Dragons coming out. Before you know it, a month from there, we July. Hey, the Odyssey and Spider-Man are right there, baby. I'm just saying, So
Tony.
we cooking right here, baby. So
Tony.
we
I
cooking.
can't wait. Like
We cooking.
that's another thing too, is like and then eventually we gonna hit the fall.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be December.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
And
see
Doomsday is coming.
Doomsday is definitely coming. We probably gonna end up doing like closer to Doomsday. We're gonna do
Hmm.
some just some like some episodes about some MCU stuff that we
And
should
I think what we are going to do, Rashad. I'm speaking this already
no, go
because
ahead.
they are going to release Endgame, and they said they're going to
Yeah, it's gonna
add.
be a
They're adding.
yeah.
They said they're adding like almost like what an hour worth of footage, and they
Something
said
that
there's something that's going to
yeah lead
tie
into
this because this is
yeah.
supposed to be a I said direct sequel into what I'm saying, Doomsday.
Yeah, so
So
we'll definitely be
yeah.
watching that
Hmm.
when it re-releases. I think like is it October or is it August?
I think it might be September. It's around that
One
time.
of the months. Yeah.
Yeah.
More
Hmm.
towards the fall. So yeah, we definitely
Hmm.
watching that and coming up with some more content based around just some of our favorite MCU stuff, stuff that may or may not be in it, and just have some
Hmm.
good conversation about what we can envision the movies to be, especially after the the re-release of Endgame.
And I almost forgot. I think it's this weekend. The Earth 25 documentary.
June 6th. June 6th?
6 or 7,
6 or
if I'm
7. I
not
think it's
mistaken.
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah. So
we have
so
so
whether we watch the movie or not, we'll be
nah,
back next Monday.
yeah. As the young girls say, period.
Lock it. Yeah. All right, guys. We
All
done
right.
said too much. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.